everybody. Welcome. This is Dr. Levi with your show, The Dr. Levi Show. Our show is about reminding you to live a life of true, explosive gratitude, of undefinable advocacy for whatever you believe in, and know and understand that life is about goodness, it's about joy, it's about prosperity, it's about really doing what you can to make the world a better place. We all should really consider thinking about, how do I live a life of ever-expanding service? It's really not about what we get, it's about giving back to our communities. And today, we're really fortunate today, January 13th, 2016, to have in our studio an extraordinary woman as well as her son, which is great. We have Nadia with us today, Nadia Abrica, as well as Alberto Guerrero. Both of them are two people. If you really think about it, it's really wonderful. It's a legacy here because it's mother passing it on to the son about getting involved in the community. It's about advocacy. It's about making a difference. It's not about just take. It's not about the fragility of consumerism. It's about what can I do to make my community better, and how can I do it in a way that's loving, that's kind, that's authentic, and that's real. Well, these two people, I am so excited to have them on the show because they are the essence of that. They're the essence of service. They're the essence of what can I do to make a difference. So again, I want to welcome Nadia and I want to welcome Alberto. Thanks so much for being here with us today.
Thank you so much. It's an honor.
It's an honor to have you here. You know, Nadia, your story is an extraordinary one. So I can't wait to read your book when you finish that in the next year or so.
Yeah.
I want to hear about life for you growing up in Mexico. I want to hear about the village where you came from, the city where you came from, and I want to hear about the dreams that you had to say, you know what, I want to go from Mexico to the U.S., why you did that, why your parents did that.
I was raised here in United States.
Yes.
In Los Angeles when I was around 11 years old. My parents decided they want to go back to their hometown.
Yes.
And which is in Mexico, in Michoacan, Jiquilpan.
Yes.
And we went back home when I was 11 years old. After that, I stayed over there. I grew up over there. Those are very important years
Yes.
of my life. And when we were over there, I went to university, got a bachelor's degree. I started working for Coca-Cola Company.
Yes.
And then I got married.
Yes.
And my husband decided he want to come back to United States. And I say, okay, let's go to United States.
Right.
First when he said that, I was like, no, I have everything here.
Yes.
I have a bachelor's degree. I'm working really, really well.
And you were happy.
Yeah, I was happy with my parents
what
and
did
everybody.
your parents think when you said you're going to move back? How did they feel about it?
My dad sit down with me and he said, think about it twice, because my dad, he's a believer of education.
Yes.
And he said, think about it twice because you have everything here. I mean, you're a professional here.
Right.
And I say, no, this is what I really want to do. I want to follow my husband. And we came back over here. And unfortunately, when I came here, I found out that my degree was not valid and that I have to start all over.
Right.
And I'm not embarrassed to say it.
How did you feel when you got that? What did you feel like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Or did you feel like, a little bit of a challenge, I'm going to keep going forward? How did you feel about that?
At the moment, at first, right away when I find out that my degree was not valid, I feel disappointed.
Yes.
But then I say, it's a great opportunity.
Yes.
It's a new opportunity. It's a new challenge. That's how I feel it.
Right.
So I was like, okay, then I have to start working and doing whatever I can do, because I was raised to not be embarrassed to work.
Absolutely.
That's how I was raised by my parents, to not be embarrassed to work. And I started working, but with my vision, always thinking education needs to come back again to me. Number one. So I enrolled myself back to school, and I say I need to go get that bachelor's degree again,
right.
now in United States.
Yes.
And deal with that I need to learn the language again.
Absolutely.
After so many years, the language was gone for me
Right.
completely. So
Right.
I started all over, and I decided I need to learn the language, and I need to go back to school and graduate again.
Right. Now, what about your husband? During this time, was he very supportive of you doing this? Because this is a major shift for the family.
I am very, very, I am those lucky women in earth. I have a husband that he's very supportive. He
great.
will never stop me for anything.
That's fantastic.
He might not be in the picture as much to be there to be, oh, I'm here to help you. Let me help you with this
Right.
and that. But he doesn't stop me either.
Right.
He's like, okay, you believe in that? Go for it.
Right.
Yes.
So he's sort of like the silent yet effective cheerleader for you and for the family.
Yes, exactly.
That is great. Now, what about those first years of school, though? Because that had to be an adjustment. You're learning the language, and you're taking classes, and you're taking care of your family. It's not just you. There are a lot of hats you're trying to put on at one time.
Yes, it is really hard. And that's why every time I have an opportunity now that I've been so involved with the community,
Yes.
that some of my professors, they invite me to come to their classes and encourage these students. That's the first thing I say to them. I was a mother. I was cleaning. I'm going to share this very important thing that I share with everybody.
Yes.
I remember a lot of professors, and I hope some of them, like Miss Janice, will remember. They allowed me to come into the classroom with a baby, with a few months baby.
Really?
And breastfeed my child.
Really?
Inside of the classroom.
That's fantastic.
That is fantastic. They allow me so I don't lose classes,
Right.
and they will understand and say, Nadia she wants to get that
Right.
degree.
Right.
So they were supporting me a lot. And that is something that doesn't happen as much.
It does not happen. Now is a lot of political correctness that breastfeeding should not be done in public. I think women should have the right to breastfeed their child wherever they can, whenever they want. It's
Yes.
a matter of bonding and binding with that child. Why not?
That is the natural thing.
Yes, it is.
Formula and bottle came later.
Absolutely. Much later.
Yes.
What I'm amazed at is in talking to you and listening to you and actually being in your presence, you emote this sense of confidence and a sense of what I see in a lot of actors, really, a fearlessness, that you have a dream, you're going to make it happen.
Right.
Period.
Period. I believe so much in myself, and every single little thing, I always want to be either the winner, or I want to make it happen.
Yes.
Or if I say to myself, if I'm not going to be the winner, at least I want them to remember me that I was a hard one.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That you worked hard.
Yes.
Your work ethic, and it's evident that you are really driven. I think it's wonderful that the community that you serve actually have you there, because your advocacy in the community about voting, about women's rights, about equal pay, you're nonstop.
Yes. I keep fighting in my community as much as I can, and I do it with different angles. I use everything that I can to do what I can do as an educator. I'm an educator.
Yes.
I've been teaching for more than 13 years.
Yes.
And as an educator, I do it too. I send the message to my students. I send the message to the parents. I do that in that way, and in another way that I do it, another angle, I do it as a community organizer
Yes.
for LA.
Yes.
That's what I do. I try to send the message of what I believe should be done.
Should be done.
Yes.
But what I find so wonderful is that you're not simply an educator by trade, with just the degree. You actually have people come to your home. You educate people in your community to learn Spanish, to learn the proper education. I mean, you bring them into your home.
Yes.
That's phenomenal.
It is. Yes. What I do every summer, I do it for the weeks of the summer.
Yes.
And I organize myself. And yes, I open the doors of my own home,
Right.
in my house. I go and drop off the flyers.
Right.
So the community knows that I'm going to be opening my doors so they can come. And I teach them the proper Spanish.
Right.
Yes. Because I believe that we cannot lose the Spanish, and not just
Absolutely.
the Spanish, any
It's
other
the heritage
language.
also.
Right. So in my classes at home, these kids, they don't just get the proper Spanish
Right.
and all those things. They also get about the culture.
Right.
They get to know about my culture. I teach them how to make tortillas.
Right.
I talk to them
Authentically.
Yes, authentically, and I allow them to explore and get to do it in their
Yes.
own, make the tortillas, and not just tortillas. We make a lot of other things. We talk about the culture. We talk about how beautiful and rich is my country.
Very much so.
And I say to them, and normally these kids, the students that they come from the community, they're not just Hispanic.
Right.
I get all
cultures, all races.
cultures, and they come and they love it. And all these parents, they're so happy at the end of the summer. They're so excited. They're like,
Right.
oh my God, I cannot believe you're doing it this. And I do it for free. I do
Right.
it because I want to, because I
But
want.
they really get a benefit, though.
a big benefit. These kids, they go out of my door at the end saying, adios, gracias.
Right.
You know,
Encantado.
Encantado.
Right.
Yes, exactly. Encantado. I love your Spanish.
Oh, my Spanish,
Dr.
I'm
Levi.
learning. I'm still learning.
You're doing wonderful.
No, I'm still learning. I'm so embarrassed.
No. No, you're doing wonderful.
Well,
That's how we
you.
start, right?
Yes,
That's
yes.
how we start. You need to come to my class.
Oh, you know what?
And
I
the
give
next
you my
summer.
word. I will. I give you my word. You know, my goal is in the next 2 years to actually do a show where I do it completely in Spanish. That's my goal. So I was going to tell that to my manager, Janet Rodriguez, but I thought, let me just wait. But that's my goal in 2 years. So hopefully I'll have you back, and then we'll have it in Spanish.
I'd be so happy to be back.
Well, I'll definitely have you back.
Yes.
Now, I want to tell our audience right now, I wish you were here right now, because the passion, the fire, and the beauty of this great woman, Nadia, is really just, it's intoxicating actually right now. The studio is just on fire. And we're also fortunate to have not only her with us, but to have another part of her with us, which is her son. So Alberto, welcome. Glad to have you with us.
Thank you so much. It's a big honor to be here.
What do you think about the involvement that your mother has in the community? Because she's an advocate for the community, but guess what? You go home and then she's mommy to you. What is that like for you?
It's really just one word, passion, because all she does is just work.
Yes.
She cooks for me and my sister. She takes care of us, and she still has time to work almost every single day.
Is that pretty amazing?
Yeah, it really is, and it's really inspiring, actually.
It has to inspire you to, one, do well in school, and also to have these thoughts about your big dreams. Like, what do you want to become? What do you want to invent? How you want to be an entrepreneur, how you want to maybe be a politician. Because your mom being here today inspires me to be a better TV and radio host, inspires me to be a better human being, a better man. And I think you're really fortunate to have a great, great woman whose shoulders you stand upon, because she's really setting the pace for you to live in excellence, to live in passion, and to live in service. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, it really is. I'm really lucky to have her as a mom.
You're very fortunate. You're very, very blessed. Never take it for granted. I'll continue to honor her. Continue to really honor her. What about school for you? What is that like? Is school something you enjoy doing, or is it one of those things where you do it because you know it's a part of your training?
Well, partially both, because I actually really do like school, because same as my mom and my grandfather, education is important.
Yes, it is.
So I go to school and I actually really like it. Now it's a lot better, and I'm in the honors program, and it's
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And it's a really great honor to be in that school,
right?
Because it's a gifted magnet school, and it's just beautiful there.
And which school do you go to? What's the name of the school?
Porter Middle School, George K. Porter Middle School.
Fantastic. You've been there how long now?
I'm in 8th grade, and I've been there since 6th.
Fantastic. Continue to do really, really well. What are your dreams? Besides, I know, going to college, and let's say 20 years from now, where do you see Alberto Guerrero? What impact do you see yourself having? Like, your mother has extraordinary impact on me and on the community at large. Where do you see yourself 20 years from now?
20 years from now, I see myself living the perfect life. I see myself living at the top, because my dream is to be the first Latino president of the United States.
Oh, that'll be easy for you.
Yeah.
That's an easy one. Come on. That's attainable. Definitely.
Yeah. So that's my dream, and I 100% see myself there.
Do you look at your mom and your dad and your grandparents as your heroes? How do you categorize them in your life?
I see them all as people that are always going to be there for me, and that are always going to push me to be the best.
Absolutely. I have a feeling, though, they don't have to push very hard. I think you push yourself quite a bit. What is it like for you, Nadia, when you hear your son, who is a reflection of you, a reflection of your passion, a reflection of your love, who is really clear about what his dreams and goals and aspirations are, and that he's going to make it happen? What does it do for you?
Well, I strongly believe that what you just said, I agree completely with you, because we are the reflection.
Absolutely.
Of our, they are our reflection.
Yes.
Because I see it in myself. I haven't told you, but I'm coming from a wonderful mother.
Fantastic.
I know everybody, we all have the best mother.
The best mother, of course.
Right? But let me tell you about Mama Licha.
Yes.
She is an amazing woman. She is a strong woman.
Yes.
Like, she's never stopped. She's always teach me that we always need to fight, and it's never stopped until today. I see her, and I see all that power in her, all her life in politics, and always fighting so hard. So I see myself with when I see something is hard for me, I think about my mom. That wouldn't be hard for her, so I have to do it.
Yes,
because my mom is gonna be disappointed. So it's like that is the pushing for me.
Absolutely.
I swear, I always think about Mama Licha, always remember her, always working hard, always pushing me to do things. When I was in high school, for example, she used to make the tortillas and sell the tortillas to survive.
Yes.
And she said, okay, here's your basket, and I want you to go sell the tortillas before you go to high school.
Just like that.
Just like that. And she was like, and she used to give orders to all of us. We're 6 kids.
Right.
And we just have 1 boy.
Right.
By the way, today is his birthday. I want to take advantage to say happy birthday, Benjamin.
Hey, Benjamin, happy birthday. I'd sing happy birthday to you, but it would scare you as well as myself. So I can't do it.
Happy birthday, Uncle.
Happy birthday, Uncle Benjamin.
Yeah, today is his birthday, and he's the only boy
Really?
for 5
so
girls.
happy birthday is Feliz
Feliz cumpleaños.
Feliz cumpleaños. Oh, my Spanish is so bad. I apologize.
No, you're doing good. You're doing good.
I'm trying.
Hey, you're doing
It's kind
good.
of a big word, so
Yes.
don't feel bad. Yeah.
Thanks, Alberto. That makes me feel better. Thank you. Well, happy birthday, Benjamin.
Yeah, it's his birthday today, and he's the only boy for 5 girls.
Wow.
Yes.
Is he the baby, the
And
youngest?
he's not. He's in the middle.
Right.
He's in the middle. And so what you're saying is true, because my mother, she had 5 girls, and
Wow.
and my dad used to come to the United States to work while we were in Mexico. So she was in charge of 5 girls and
That's a
1
lot.
boy. So it was a lot. So I
Yes.
see myself on my mom, and now that you said that, yes, I do see that in Alberto, that he can see that I don't stop.
No.
That is Saturdays, that is Monday, that is whatever day is. If there is a need out there in the community,
You do it.
I'm out there.
The community is happy to have you, though, because you are a force to be reckoned with. Working with Eric Garcetti, working with his campaign man, you are non-stop.
Yes, we don't stop, and the reason that we don't stop is because the day that we stop, I just think about it. If all the community organizers that we're out there, the day that we stop, then what is going to happen?
Yeah, there's no growth. There's no expansion in consciousness. People just stick with the status quo, but don't think about making things better for other people, including themselves.
Yes, we need people. We need people like me.
Yes.
And we need people like me, because I think about it, if everybody were like me and some other community organizers, imagine what a wonderful community will we have.
We'd have a lot of
moment.
power, and we'd have things that would change. See, injustices, they would not persist. We would stop them.
Yes, and then so that's what I see with Alberto. I see in him little things at his age level. Even though Alberto, he comes with me to a lot of events, a lot of political events that they're age appropriate,
Yes.
that he can be there. I see it a lot in his age. At one time, one of his school, the principal,
Yes.
he calls me, and then he said, well, I have a problem here going on with your son. And I say, what is the problem?
Yes.
He's like, well, he's collecting signatures to remove the uniforms from school. And I'm like, okay, so I have a problem with that. So I come to school,
Yes.
and of course I didn't cut his wins for
Of course not.
him to be. I actually was very proud of him.
Of course.
That he was organizing something. He had all these signatures. He had all these people behind him,
Making a difference.
supporting him, and I was like
Absolutely.
very proud of him.
Right.
But of course, I used the appropriate words to explain to him why it
course.
was important to keep the uniform.
Right.
So the school principal, he's like, no, you should tell him to not do that. I say, no, I'm sorry, but no. He is only, at that time, he was only 11 years old.
Really?
And I say, he's 11 years old, and he's organizing all these.
Right.
Everybody with signs standing,
Really?
saying that they don't want uniform.
Right.
I said, I actually want to record this.
Exactly. You go, Alberto.
I remember that. Yeah.
Really?
That was fun. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
I'm like, that's my son, because he sees in his mom.
Right.
I'm an activist.
Yes, you are.
I fight for whatever I think for
Yes, you do.
women's rights,
Right.
immigration,
Yeah, you want
which
justice.
is something very important right
Yes, it
now,
is.
that we need to keep pushing.
Yes, we should.
Because we need a reform.
Absolutely.
And I believe that all these people that is over there in the shadows, they need to be outside because this is a country of immigrants.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
This is a country of immigrants.
Yes,
we
is.
are immigrants.
All of us.
So these people, they deserve to have that reform. So I'm always fighting for these too, because I strongly believe we need it.
We definitely need it.
These people that is been in the shadows, all these parents, there is good people out there.
Absolutely.
I know thousands of families, mom and dad working so hard with these good kids. They want to go to university, but parents, they don't have they don't have the nationality in here. So that hurt my heart much.
Of course.
Of seeing these good families that they're working the same as other people that they were lucky to born in this country.
And they have their dreams, but don't seem to be able to attain them because societally they're being pushed down and trying to break their spirits.
And remember, there is a lot of these families that they're good people, that they might be educated, they might maybe enroll themselves in a community college, and they cannot go higher. Why? They don't have a Social Security card to work. Right. So I see it as a disadvantage because these people might bring good things.
Or they
to
contribute
the
to society. They contribute.
Right.
They're working people. They contribute.
Yes.
And they should be treated with respect, with kindness, and they should have equal rights and equal pay.
Yes, and equal paid, exactly. Because you see, these are the people that they're out there in the fields picking up your tomatoes, doing all those things. When sometimes if you go all the way down by Indio where they're picking up the grapes, 115 degrees. And there is my people out there picking them up.
For hours.
And for
with little pay.
And sometimes even less than minimum wage.
Not fair.
And why? Because they just have a big need. And their families, they have a big need out there.
Of course.
And they're like, if I can get this to survive, that's fine. I'll go with it. Even though it's 115 degrees.
I'm going to work it.
Right. I'm going to work.
I think you raised such a valiant point about being involved to make a difference. Because if you're not involved, then this persists. This type of injustice, this type of prejudice, this type of discrimination, it continues. So unless we speak out, unless we use our platforms to make a difference, then the status quo is always accepted.
Right.
It just is.
Exactly. And it's when we go back to what I was saying, community organizers.
Absolutely. And advocacy.
We're the ones, exactly. We're the ones we are out there speaking for these people.
Absolutely. Because they have no voice.
Exactly.
So we have to use our voice, use our hands, use our face, use our bodies to make a difference. And your son was doing that with the grassroots organization to say, hey, I don't want to wear uniforms. No one else does either. We know what? I applaud you, Alberto. I mean, because it's grassroots organizational skills like you showed that you've learned from your mother will make a change. It's never about acceptance. It's always about being outside the box of consumerism, outside the box of the status quo or the norm. The norm doesn't mean it's actually good. The norm is just what's accepted by everybody else. So I think for us to make a difference with respect to the rights of minorities in this country, people of different races, different sexes, different sexualities, different gender identities, well, we have to know that everybody is a human being and we're all a reflection of each other. No one's better than no one else. So I really admire what you're doing, Nadia, and I think what you're doing will, again, continue as a legacy in how your son sees what you do. Because you're a dynamo, period. You are. I really mean it, and I mean it with the greatest of abandonment. You're making a difference, and we need people like you. We really do. And I want to say to our audience, I met Nadia at a political event, and when I met her, I was with my manager, Janet Rodriguez, and we walked up, and Janet said, I want you to meet somebody who's spectacular. I said, really? She said, yeah, it's spectacular. So we walk over and we meet her and we talk to her, and she was so loving, so kind, so embracing. And she said, some of the things that I go to, I want to let you all know, and I want you to be there. I said, well, I want to be involved. And she looked at me and she said, I can tell you really do. And that was very powerful for me because I also, when I meet people, I'm always looking at one thing, how authentic they really are. This is LA where we live. We live in a place where people talk a lot of game. We go to an event where 80% of the stuff that we hear from people is straight up BS. And maybe 5% is true, and maybe 10% is on the border. But that 5% is what we want. And when we were there and we met you, and we met your son also, that was delivering toys for tots at an event, you really embraced us. And I want to tell you thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Welcome.
I'm really grateful.
I am very glad. I was very glad to see you guys there because that is a way to support the community.
Absolutely.
When you came to the event that I invited you guys, it was a toy drive.
Yes, it
right?
was.
Right.
Yeah, I brought this big Darth Vader and all these other things there. Yeah,
Yes.
it was a great event.
It was a great event, and I brought the picture because we took a picture with
Yes,
the
we
gift
did.
you brought,
Yes, we did.
and it was really nice, really nice. But yeah, that is when I talk to people, I really want them to know that I'm for real.
You are authentic, absolutely.
That I'm for real, and I'm for real trying to help my community.
Yes.
And yes, I do make sure people knows that I'm for real because
Yes.
when I invite you to an event to support my community,
Right.
I want you to remember that I'm for real.
Yes.
That gift that you're gonna bring is gonna go to somebody.
Right.
That is really gonna go to a child
Who really needs it?
who really needs it. And I'm just gonna give you an example. We just think about the kids poor for the community, but there is more than just that.
Right.
And people might not know. For example, these kids that their parents are in jail,
Yes.
right? We just think about kids, poor kids
Right.
in the community, but we forgot those kids that they're not just poor because they're one of the parents it's in jail.
Right.
They're
Incarcerated.
also very harmed.
Yes.
These
Psychologically.
kids, exactly. These kids are going through a hard time through the year
Right.
because one of the parents it's not there,
Right.
right? Those
So there's
are
also the social stigma of, and kids can be very cruel with other kids also to say, oh, where's your mom or where your dad? Or they're in jail. That, can you imagine?
Can you
Can
imagine?
you imagine the bullying that will ensue from that, or the amount of finger pointing and saying things that will really hurt the child psychologically?
right. And these kids, just imagine you as an adult. We, as in society, we don't want to say that my brother is in jail.
Right.
We don't want to say that my
Right.
uncle is in jail.
No.
Now think about a child that is barely learning the world.
Right.
This child is barely learning the world, and any little comment can fragile that child.
Absolutely. 'Cause
Every little
they're very
comment.
fragile.
So now imagine being a child with your dad or your mom in jail. See, we forget about these kids. Now we can go we can move a little bit to all and another kids with syndrome.
Right.
Kids with other special needs.
Right.
See,
So if they have special needs like Down syndrome, if they have
Yes.
a psychological impairment, if they have some other physical impairment, often they're also made fun of. They're bullied. Their families thought of being less than. Not a good situation.
Yes. So all those kids. So when I meet people, I want them to know that I'm for real because when I need their support, especially in the holidays,
Absolutely.
for example.
Yes.
But there is a lot of events that I use to support these
Right.
organizations.
Right.
But I'm just giving you the example where we meet.
Of course.
So I want them to know that it's for real because there is a lot of organizations, not
Yes.
just the poor kids of the community,
Right.
that I want them to support me. So I did want you to know that I was for real.
Oh, you were, and I felt so grateful, one, to be a part of that, and to see the impact in the room, looking and listening at all the conversations that were there. People were there, one, because they wanted to be there, and two, because people you invited were there to support you.
Yes.
They truly were there because Nadia invited them. They wanted to be there to say, hey, this cause deserves my attention, my time, my money, my donation.
Yes, definitely. And I get to invite people also to come and to be part of, see those smiles.
Yes.
Because that is the payment.
Yes, it is.
That is the payment
Yes, it
as
is.
community organizer that
Yes.
you're organizing something like that. That is the payment. When you
The smile or those other two words, thank you.
Yes. When you see these kids excited about opening that gift and things like that, that is the payment.
And then imagine what they would do if those gifts weren't there. How cold that Christmas or that celebration might be, or how they may feel less than.
Yes.
by not having toys that other kids may have.
Yes, but the best part of this is not really. It is the toy because they're kids and they're excited with the toy.
You want their spirit to be uplifted.
But they know that someone out there care about them,
Absolutely.
which is what they're missing.
Yes,
these kids,
right.
they have their parents in jail, or these kids are kids with special needs that no one wanna play with them, and they feel like, oh, Nadia or somebody from the community
cares about
me. That is the more important thing.
Yes, it is.
Than the gift.
I agree. The gift is the involvement, the attention, the care. And what's the name of the organization that, I know you're involved with an organization that takes care of children who have different types of syndromes. What's the name of that organization?
That is Sueños y Esperanza. It's located in Linwood.
Yes.
And so I draw all the way to over there every time that I need to go and help them and support them and everything that I can.
Yes.
It's an organization most Latino and African American.
Yes.
And they're over there in that area. And these parents, what happened is that these kids were, they don't have a lot in their programs at school.
Right.
Because of budget cuts,
right.
all those things that were cut. So these parents, they were left with their kids with no activities, nothing to do. So they started organizing and putting themselves together and saying, okay, we're going to get together every Friday in Plaza Mexico. And that's what they get together. And they started doing activities in there, out there with the kids. I got involved. Marta Contreras, she's the one who invited me. She's one of the parents.
Yes.
And she said, Nadia, I want you to be part of it. Come and help us. And since then, I've been helping and everything that I can. Right now, we're working and everything to do a nonprofit. I'm working on all the licensing, everything that I need to do in order to make it happen.
Well, if she has you, it will happen.
Yes, that's exactly what she said. She said, you know what? You came to us, and we know it's going to happen. And I'm going to be so happy to bring you once it's done, or before for you to meet these kids. Yes. They're little angels.
You know, I look at any organization that helps individuals who have intellectual or physical disabilities as bearers of the truth. Because when you come to kids like that and children like that and their parents, you help them in a way that's really not even definable. Because just being involved, like you said, and showing that you care and that they're not being marginalized, that they're not being thought of as less than, it's just great. It really, to me, it's like a small version of the Special Olympics where, you know, I really love that because, again, people think you give so much to the children. Well, they give so much back to you because they love unconditionally.
Yes.
It's authentic.
It is, definitely.
It really is. Alberto, I want to ask you, you know, when it comes to school, we talked about school a little bit. I want to ask you about something that we hear a lot now. It's a big hot topic, which is bullying. Have you had any experiences like that in school yourself?
Yes, I have, and I went to therapy because of it.
Yes.
For a very long time. It was in elementary.
Yes.
That I was bullied. I honestly forgot why, but some kids sometimes they're just jealous, or sometimes with the reason why they bully is because they're being either neglected at home,
of course,
or they're being mistreated.
Right, and they want to continue to do that to other people.
Mm-hmm. And when that happens, they take out their anger on other kids at school.
Yes. Because
one time I was being bullied, and my mom, she went to the school, and she fought so that those kids, she fought for me, but she also fought for those kids who were the ones who were bullying.
Yes, exactly.
Because when she left, she came back, and she thought about, wait, why would they be bullying? Maybe they're being mistreated at home.
Yes.
And it turns out that they were being verbally abused and physically abused too.
Of course.
They had burns of cigarettes, beatings, and all that.
Yes.
And I think that that's a really big reason why kids are bullied.
Right. And I also think it shows the extraordinary wisdom of your mother to say, you know what, yes, I want to protect my son, but also I even want to protect the ones that are abusing my son so that they don't continue that legacy of abuse. That's very powerful, Nadia.
Yes.
To have that type of foresight to say, yes, we stop the abuse, but also we help and love the abuser.
Yes.
That's You're really extraordinary.
You know what? The way that I sighed at that moment, it was like, my son has me here.
Yes.
But these kids, they might not have someone like me.
Absolutely.
To be there for them. So I right away, we did everything that we needed to do for our son. He was in therapy. He was with all the support possible.
Which is wonderful.
Plus my knowledge as an educator in the field, and my husband supporting, mother-in-law, everybody supporting my son. So I noticed that he had all the support.
He had a village. He had a village to help him.
He was ready to get out of there. He was going to be fine. It was just a time of year. It took a few years.
Oh, I'm sure.
And he's and I still see some,
residue.
Yes, of course, it's still there somehow, but he was gonna get the help. So I say no, but these kids, for a reason they're doing it. Me as an educator with my knowledge, I say, you know what? It's because something's going on at home.
Absolutely.
So I pursue and I started looking, and unfortunately, not unfortunately, the school have to protect all the information of these students, blah, blah, blah. So it was not easy for me.
Could not have been.
It was not easy for me to find out where parents live. It was at that moment, exactly. So these parents, it was not easy for me to find them.
I mean, it's almost like you have to be your own private investigator.
I feel like I was doing now that.
Right.
I was
Nadia NCIS.
Yes.
right.
I was like, okay, now into this.
Right.
But
you did it.
I did it. I contacted the right people. I got a lot of support with a lot of people in the field.
Yes.
They helped me call this number. Let's call that number. And we were able to find out who there were 6 or 7 kids. I forgot.
There were, I think 7 or 8 actually.
Yeah. 7 bullies.
Oh my goodness.
That's
well, it's a long time. I don't remember exact number, but all kids were hurt at home in different ways.
Right.
And I feel good that these kids, that we're gonna stop. They were gonna be able to get the help
that they needed also.
And the parents, because sometimes, Alberto, you were sharing with me about why these parents, they're not with their kids. Remember?
Yeah, it's because since housing here is really hard, and problems with the economy. They have problems, so then they have to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs maybe.
So they're not there.
Yeah, so then, exactly, they're not there. So then the kids feel like if they're being neglected, like if they're not spending enough time.
They're acting out.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But sometimes it's not just the abusing or the neglect. Sometimes it's because they see their parents, friends, or brothers or sisters that when they get angry, they always get their way. Sometimes they get their way when they get angry and they push people around.
Yes.
So then they think, so if it's working for them, then maybe it could work for me.
Right. Now, what do you think what things do you think could be done in the school to stop bullying?
To stop bullying, really, the problem is that when other people witness bullying, they don't speak up.
Right.
That's the problem. Right. That's the really big problem. And most kids who get bullied, they don't speak up either.
Right.
They don't say, Mom, Dad, I'm being bullied, or principal, or anything. They decide to keep it for themselves and try
to deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
What gave you the strength to tell your mom and dad what was happening?
It actually took me a while. I was one of those kids who didn't want to share.
Yes.
And it took me a while once I just got tired of it and I was done.
Right.
So then I went to my parents and I told them, and I was actually really happy that I did.
I'm glad you did.
And I regretted that I didn't tell them sooner.
Absolutely. One thing I can share with you, and I can share with all our listening audience, is when it comes to bullying or anything that happens at school, I really want this to be clear. There are never, ever, ever any good secrets. If someone is bullying you and they tell you don't tell anybody, because if you do this, I'm going to do this to you, you still tell your mom, you still your dad. Also, when it comes to secrets, no one ever has the right to touch your body or to do anything to your body and then to tell you, don't tell anybody, it's a secret. Myself as a child who did go through some types of abuse like that, the secrets are the most wicked things in the world. So I want to say again, there are never, ever, ever any good secrets, period. So I'm really glad you did that, Alberto, because by doing that, you broke the chain. It was your courage and it was your intelligence that said, hey, you know what? This is not right, so let me make a difference. And you did it.
And it was a bad thing to be bullied, but it was also a good thing. And let me tell you how. Because being bullied, it made me get stronger, really. It made me get stronger so that if I get bullied again sometime, I'm gonna be like, I already went through this, so I
can
learned
walk.
those strategies from
Right.
therapy, things like that, so that it doesn't happen as bad as it did in elementary.
Absolutely.
And it really just made me stronger. You know, and you know the saying, "What kills you makes you stronger,"
Absolutely. It
right?
doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Absolutely right.
Exactly.
Now, if you could mention like 2 or 3 things that you would share with our audience about if someone out there right now is listening to you and listening to your story and they're being bullied and they're being silent about it, what are maybe 2 or 3 things you would share with them?
Well, first of all, for the kids first who are getting bullied, or adults, doesn't
Or
matter.
adults, yes.
Speak up right away, because I regretted not saying anything in the beginning.
Yes.
Speak up right away. If you see that something's happening to somebody else or to yourself, speak up just right away. Just don't stop. Just say it. And to the parents, there's a way to prevent it or to stop it after it's happening.
Yes.
It's to go to the school and find out what's happening. Then you can try to fix it from the inside instead
Yes.
of fixing it from the outside.
Right. So the parents really have to be advocates for their children also. And like your mom, the parents have to be an advocate for the child who's being bullied as well as for the bullies to stop them.
Exactly.
Well, your mom is really the poster woman. She's a real Wonder Woman walking among us because she's about that type of advocacy. And more importantly, she's about being an advocate for everyone. I really applaud you, Nadia. I applaud your strength. I applaud your passion. And all I can tell everyone, if you were here in the studio right now, it's still on fire. because Nadia and Alberto, you really brought it. So I just want to thank you for being so passionate about what you believe and for making a difference, because the world needs individuals who are fearless. I really believe that. I think we have to be fearless. We have to live with intentions. Our intentions must be pure and authentic. And then we have to say, you know what? I don't care what people think of me. It's between me and the universe. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make a difference. Because it never really matters what people think of us anyway. It's what we think of ourselves. That's what really counts.
Right. I agree with you. Being fearless and something that you can be a good example, and I want you to use it, because me coming back to the United States, and I needed to learn the language again.
Yes.
And till today, I still have my beautiful accent.
Oh, it's fantastic. I love it.
Which I think is a beautiful
It's
and
beautiful.
sexy accent.
Yes, it is. Yeah, if you say so yourself.
If I don't say it, who's going to say that?
Exactly.
I better say it.
Yes.
Well, anyways, I think you have to be not be afraid
Yes.
of mispronounce something.
Of course.
And if I mispronounce something, just try to figure it out. What did I
Well,
say?
exactly.
So you have to say things in Spanish
This
and
is
not
true.
be afraid of it.
This is true.
That's
This is
who
true.
I am. I'm not afraid of saying something wrong.
Right.
I'm just like, hey, you got to get it.
That's true.
I came back to
That's
the
true.
United
That's
States.
true. That's
And
true.
I'm just learning the language, so it's okay if I mispronounce something.
Well, I'm going to keep practicing my Spanish as you,
You
say
need
that.
to.
I will. I give you my word.
Yes.
Give me 18 months, and we'll be back. And my goal is to speak as well as I possibly can without as many grammar or pronunciation problems.
Practice
I'll
makes
do my
perfect.
best.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that, Alberto. I want
Yes.
to. You're going to see me at your mom's kitchen, sitting there with the other children. I'll just be the biggest kid there.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting.
That would be exciting. You know, Alberta, I want to thank you for taking time to be here with us today too.
course.
You know, when you I want to hear one thing that you feel about life in general. If you could say, like, what do you think your mission is in life? What do you think it is?
Well, it's like my dad used to say, life is just a game. You
Yes,
just have
it
to
is.
play along with it, and if something wrong happens, then, well, that's just life. That's just how it is.
Right.
You just have to go through it, and if there's a barrier, then try to climb over it or just try to find a way around.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I got to tell you, I think you're going to make your mom, myself, and everybody on this planet very proud of you, because it's quite clear that you are headed in the right direction. And I just want to thank you for being you, because you take you wherever you go. So why not just be you? It's perfect.
Because everybody else is already taken.
Exactly. You got it. You got it. Perfect. Well, Nadia, you got to be proud of Alberto. I mean, he's really an amazing young man. He is.
He is, and I work really hard with him, and I don't know what he's going to be with Alberto in the future because we don't know.
No.
But I strongly work really hard on him. But I focus in just a minimum little things. I want him to be respectful with women.
Always.
I'm so working so hard with him to understand how important it is the respect and especially with women.
Absolutely.
And not just because I am a woman, but I want him to understand that where is he's coming from.
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
easy.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm
Yes.
and one way that I raise my son is that I say things by their name.
Right.
Exactly, but the name.
Right.
I don't come out with things around.
No.
I say the things how they are. I talk to him.
Straight to the point, yeah.
It's straight to the
the way it should
point.
be.
Yes, we talk about everything straight to the point. We talk. I explained to him how painful it was to have him. He was 9'5" pounds.
No, really? Were you 9 pounds, 5 ounces?
Yes.
Woo!
He was, and
Big
I said
baby.
to him, "You were a big baby, and you were born natural,
Right.
with no medicine."
No medicine. Right.
So
So he better be good.
yes, so I say things to him exactly how they are.
No sugarcoating anything.
No. Right, straight how it is, and I say you need to have respect for women
Absolutely.
because it was not easy.
I bet you when she was having me, she's like, "You better be worth it."
Right. Right, Alberto. And he is.
And he is. Yes. So we'll see. And I'm always, yeah. Albert, you're funny.
Too much.
Yeah.
Right.
That's my boy,
Oh,
right?
exactly. No, we think you're worth it. But your mom is so right. You know, that women should be honored and loved and revered, and women should be treated with the greatest of respect because they deserve that. Never treated less than. Never hands should never be placed on a woman.
And about respecting the women, I remember this one time in 6th grade, I actually got in a fight with another kid.
Yes.
Like a physical fight because he was mistreating another girl. And he was calling her bad names.
Yes.
And he was starting to push her around.
Wow.
And I went up to him and I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "You just keep on walking. You have nothing to do here." And then I said, "Are you mistreating?" No. And then I asked her, "Is he mistreating you?"
Yes.
And she said no. But then when he wasn't looking, she said she's like
I
nodded
shook
her head.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I went up to him and I said, "I know that you've been mistreating this girl."
Right.
And then he said, "What are you going to do about it?" And then he threw the first punch, and then
Yeah.
that's when it started.
It started revving up. Yeah.
And when I went to the dean,
yes.
I didn't get in trouble at all. They just told me, "Thank you for standing up. Go
Right.
back to class. You're fine."
And they were going to take care of it.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's always great to
And he got
stand
expelled.
up. Oh yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, he'll have consequences of that. You always have to stand up for what is right, and always use your voice, use your platform, use whatever you can to make sure that the right thing happens. And it's never good to be silent, especially when you see injustices going on. Never just because if you're silent, then you're a part of the injustice.
Exactly.
You know, we have to be a part of change. And your mom is really about you epitomize it. You epitomize change and passion and making a difference. And again, you do it fearlessly. No matter what people say or think, when Nadia's in the house, open up. She's coming through. And if things aren't right, you're going to make them right.
And my kids, they know I'm a very, I'm always with these kids, letting them know I am the parent and
Yes.
they better respect me.
Absolutely.
And I'm always with them, very open with both, like I was saying, very
Yes.
open, saying everything exactly how it is. And I do have a really strong discipline at home.
You have to.
Since they're young,
Oh, yeah.
Alberto's, oh yeah. You heard that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am.
Right.
Yes, I am. I've been teaching my kids to be independent since they're really young. I'm
Right.
like, you wash your dishes, you clean up,
Yes, clean
you
your
help,
room.
you not just the room, the entire house. We all need to participate.
true. That's
It's not
true.
just my job.
That's
because
true.
I want them to get the message that the woman is not the one who comes in
That's
and
correct.
do everything
She's
at home.
not. That's
I say
correct.
because I'm a professional out
Right.
there. I'm
Right.
working out there. I am busy being a parent.
Right.
I am busy doing other things. So why just me? No, everybody needs
Helps.
to help in the house to clean and pick up their own things. So I have a lot of discipline with them. I discipline not just in the way they clean the house.
Yes.
In general. I have a strong discipline with them about the way that you talk to people.
Absolutely.
The way, and I use the words like, look around. This is not a playground.
Exactly.
You are right now at the mall, or
Yes.
right now you're at in a political event, or and I use that word all the time. I say,
you let them know.
Look around. This is not a playground. So I'm very
Right now, Alberto's
Almost every day he tells me that.
He's agreeing.
Yep.
Now, I have to tell you, we have about 30 seconds to finish the show. Any closing words that you would like to tell our audience? Because I know you're involved with so many things. Anything that you like to share with them? In closing?
what I want to say to them is
in English and Spanish.
Yes.
I do Spanish next time.
You do Spanish next time. Well, what I want to say, it is very important for them to know. I strongly believe in having a life that is full of everything. Yes. That we cannot just be a mom, we cannot just be a parent, we cannot just be a wife. It is important to balance our lives.
Absolutely.
So me, Nadia Abrica, I do make sure to balance my life. I am the best of in my eyes, I am the best parent.
Yes.
I am the best wife. I am the best daughter.
Right.
Since my parents live with me.
Yes.
Out of 6 kids, they live with me.
Right.
And I am the best friend. I have the best friends. But by the way, I send a big kiss to everybody.
Right.
Because my best friends, they're not just my friends. I strongly believe they're my family because
Absolutely.
I choose them.
That's
all
true.
of them.
That's
I
true.
choose them, all
That's
of
true.
them. So I want to encourage them to, and I'm also I work hard with the community. So I want to encourage, if I had the opportunity right now to send a message to them, is the reason that I'm a community organizer is not just for a passion, it's because I want to send the right message to everybody.
Absolutely.
I want them to learn from me that if we all do something for our community, we can have a better community.
Awesome.
That's what I want them to know. Realmente sí quiero que sepan la comunidad que es muy importante que todos portemos algo de nuestro apoyo para que podamos hacer una mejor comunidad. And the other thing that I want to say is that I am a very proud person here in LA making a difference.
Yes.
And that I'm not just one more Angelina. I'm 100% Jiquilpense. I want to say that because that's my hometown. That's my hometown. And I really want to say it because I'm very proud to be Jiquilpense. Soy muy orgullosa de ser una Jiquilpense 100%. So I really wanted to say that.
I really want to thank Nadia and Alberto. I mean, what amazing guests today. What a phenomenal show today. So thank you, Alberto. Thank you, Nadia. And remember, everyone, this show can be seen on iTunes as a podcast. Our podcast started actually 2 days ago, so it's up and running. So you can download the shows. You can hear Nadia, and hear Alberto, and hear the show, and participate with us and hear us. And I want to thank you for joining my YouTube channel. We're almost at 12,000 now, which is unbelievable. Our goal is 1.5 million. I know it's going to happen. So I want to thank everyone for everything. Please subscribe. And just thank you for being a part of the Dr. Levi community. Again, thank you, Nadia. Thank you, Alberto. And life is good. Just remember that. Be kind to the veterans. Be kind to children. And remember that every day is a gift. Live in full gratitude and live with appropriate intentions. This is Dr. Levi. See you guys soon.